Movie notes on Hidalgo, 2004 film, 28 July 2024 viewing. 20 years later, approximately, I'm coming around to do a movie notes video on this. I'm Tanis Coralee Leonhardi, she, her, hers of Seattle, and I just finished viewing this today, Sunday, 28 July 2024. This is a 2004 film, Hidalgo, and my description that I came up with for this viewing is a biographical film about Native American Lakota Frank T. Hopkins and his race across the Arabian Desert in the 1890s with his horse named Hidalgo following the massacre of Lakota at Wounded Knee. Yes, and that is the Lakota Native American, same as me, but not same as me in a very, very profound way. So he's half Lakota. I am a smidgen Lakota a long time ago. And not only that, but as more and more people from, let's do alphabetical again, see how long it takes me to get down alphabetically. As more and more people come to the original peoples, Native Americans' lands in the United States of America from Africa, Asia, Central America, Europe, Oceania, and South America, where they all invade the United States of America territories. The land has changed, and there's been a lot of death and destruction. And sometimes there's outright massacres, like the Lakota, so his people, my people, they were massacred at a spiritual event they were having by soldiers from the United States of America government, and at a place called Wounded Knee. And that was back in the 1800s, and back then the land of the United States of America was closer to what it was when it was under the care of the original peoples. Now a lot of that has been destroyed and bulldozed and concretized and turned into agriculture and stuff like that, which is not keeping on the legacy of the original peoples, nor being respectful, nor giving it back. So he, in that sense, not only was half, but he was more raised in the natural landscape than I was. So I'm making a distinction here in terms of percentage and like environmental proximity to what the original peoples kept as a sacred sanctuary, and then a bunch of invasives from all of the rest of the world came and destroyed and continues to destroy. Okay. So there we go. And for the sake, this is a biographical movie where the name of the people, so the Lakota, is actually changed in the movie to Sioux, which was a neighboring tribe of the Lakotas. Lakotas are not Dakotas. That's not where our region was, okay? And so Lakota, not Dakota, okay? If you want to get the geography right, that's okay. And so it was changed for privacy purposes, and there's a bunch of books where there'll be like sometimes the conversation, the wording was changed, or the name of the person or an identity feature was changed to kind of protect the person's privacy or for security reasons. And so this is a movie that does that. So I'm just pointing. Most people know the story of Wounded Knee, so when they bring up the massacre of the Sioux or that kind of thing, people go, well, that's not the right Native Americans, it was the Lakota, right? So they're like, at least people knew that when I was growing up. Have children being raised in the United States of America know even less about the original peoples. That would be very disheartening if that was true. And so he races, he has this horse, and he's a long distance horse racer. That's a sport. So this is a movie about a sports performance, right? So essentially, a bunch of his people are massacred, and a chief comes and asks him to race representing the Lakota over in the Middle East across the Arabian Desert. And so he does. And so it's about that journey and bonding with his horse and kind of maturing and coming to terms with his ancestry, and even more specifically his Native American ancestry. So it was a little bit of a coming of age journey, and not necessarily in the same way as Mama Sketch for the Native American Cree, which is Canada region, not United States of America region, but Canada region, right? So like that book I read and did a book/reading notes video on. And link to my notes on autobiography/biography playlist. That one was an autobiography, a book. And Mama Sketch. And A Cree Coming of Age by Daryl J. McLeod. And so, yeah, I enjoy it. It's a reminder of being Native American is a bit lonely. I think that part is preserved even with my smidgen Native American. But yeah, it's nice to have at least one attempt at getting a real one of us, some part of the life story on film. So I was born in approximately 1993. He was born like what, almost 130 years before I was. So again, I'm a little bit more diluted, but what I got, you know, was very Lakota. So there we go. Those are my movie notes on Hidalgo, 2004 film, 28 July 2024 viewing.